Hello there everyone, welcome back to another Gundam card game video. I cannot stop farming these fine gentlemen in front of me for more clicks, so we are going to do that one more time. I'm joined by Edwin and Thomas, who you will recognise from their first and third place swapped finishes at Bandai Cardfest in Dusseldorf. So, you know, pretty good at the game. And we're going to be talking about a whole load of different things. But before I kind of break down all of that, thanks very much for joining. And why don't I pan over, we'll start with Edwin, just to let us know a little bit about you, if you want to shout out any particular YouTube channel. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
No need to shout out yourself, right?
He wants to shout out my channel.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm Edwin, or Aaron in the TCG app. I mean, you wanted to say a little bit of our history of TCG as well, right? So I used to play Card Vanguard a lot, like 10 years ago. I used to be on Chris, Different Vices channel, 10 years ago as well. I think you as well, right? So it's like both of us were featured on his YouTube channel with different games. Me with Vanguard, he with Body Fight. Had to quit because of studies and work, basically. When the Gundam card game came out, he started again. I have a small YouTube channel called Team Top Deck Enjoyers, Team TDE, where we do like weekly online locals, soon to be expanded to Europe, currently only in the Netherlands, which I'm shoutcasting personally, so I can't participate, but you can hear me be surprised about all the meme plays that happened throughout the whole tournament.
Oh my god, he burst striker pack again!
I mean, I have seen 3 unforeseens in a row, like double unforeseen in a row, so
Okay.
some insane funny plays happen sometimes. So
nice.
yeah, and I got third place, sadly third place at finals. So again, not going to Japan. The meme is still alive. For those who don't know, I always get third place, always disqualified for Worlds, like 3 or 4 times in a row. So still keeping the meme alive.
Well, I think it is ridiculous that we don't get 3 spots, personally, considering it's just as hard to qualify in Europe as it is in North America. Anyway,
Yes,
Thomas, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so you guys know me from the last video, from the tournament. But I think not from something before that. I'm currently working to change my YouTube channel to more of like a Gundam YouTube channel. I think you will put the links in the description later or something, right?
Yes,
So,
links to both
sure.
channels will be in the description.
So you can join it, but I don't know when I will be able to upload the first video, but I will try to upload some helpful content, hopefully. And yeah, I got first place at the European Championship. Let's call it this. I don't know the exact. It's like the national championship.
It's called
right?
the regional championship for some reason.
Yeah.
Like just
The
call it
European
continentals.
region. Yes.
Yeah, or like the European Championship or something. It's like such a bad name.
And
Yeah.
I started playing Gundam when it came out, but I haven't played the beta, for example. And before that, I played a lot of Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Commander with friends, something like this, and online card games like Hearthstone and stuff like this.
Nice. Well, thanks for introducing yourself, both of you. Briefly, for people who are new to the channel, I've been playing a bunch of games over like 10, 11 years. Started out with Yu-Gi-Oh! And Card Fight Vanguard, then spent a long time playing Buddy Fight, which was such a good game with such a bad name. And then I've played most games, I think, that are out for a little bit at least. Not all of them like super competitively, but like I've tried most of them. And obviously most recently have been playing a lot of Gundam, which I was not expecting to do because the only Gundam anime I'd seen before the game came out was Build Fighters and Build Fighters Try. So like people would always, my comment section is full of people getting really tilted that like I'm mispronouncing like a Gundam name or something, or like I complain that Mikazuki isn't a new type. And like my only basis for complaining about that was, well, I wish I could put him onto Kshatriya. That was literally the only basis. I was like, oh, this is annoying. I can't get like a triple ping. And everyone in the comments is like, oh my god, this guy doesn't know what a new type is. Why would Mikazuki be a new type? That makes no sense. IBO is not in the Universal Century thing, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to stop ranting because I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a rundown of what we're going to talk about today. We've got a few things we wanted to chat about. So I think we're going to start off, we're going to talk about the set 1 and the set 2 meta, kind of just a little brief discussion on how the game has gone so far, essentially, and our experiences of it. We're going to talk a bit about the competitive side of the game, so like tournaments, prizing, format, all that sort of stuff. We're going to we have to spend a bit of time talking about Cardfest. I think there's been a lot of discussion about it already. Obviously, we have to add our 2 cents, but we'll try and keep it brief. And then we're going to be talking about some very exciting recent news, which is going to be Set 3 stuff, which copium, but hey, maybe the meta will actually change. And it's looking pretty likely to be fair. And somehow Bandai decided to inexplicably make an incredibly good decision, and they are having best of 3 in sideboarding be a thing. So we'll be chatting about all that. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's wind it back. Let's think about Set 1 and Set 2. And maybe this would be a good opportunity as well to kind of talk about the tournaments we went to. So I'll start, as I'm already talking, and I love the sound of my own voice. So when I started playing Gundam, it wasn't immediately when the game came out. When it came out, I bought all the starter decks. I actually wasn't planning on going that hard into the game. I picked up the Xeon starter because I was like, okay, well, I think Rush is going to be good, and the Xeon stuff looks really cool. And I read Armoro, and I was like, okay, well, this is broken, so I'm going to get starter deck 1 as well. But I wasn't intending to pick up like the other ones. Oh, actually, sorry, and I picked up the Wing one as well because Breach reads really broken. So I was like, cool, I don't really need this Zaft one or whatever. This seems whatever. But then I started playing the game more, and I was like, these starter decks are selling out quite a lot. If I end up wanting these things, I should probably pick them up. So then I picked up starter decks, and then I'd helped out with like demoing the game and stuff. So I ended up with a bunch of boxes and things as compensations, and I was opening those. I was like, okay, well, I've got almost everything I need for like play sets. Okay, fine. Maybe I'll start playing the game seriously. So I was playing a bunch around September, I think. But so the game came out in July, but I actually wasn't really playing it until like September. And I think like 2 or 3 weeks before Seville is when I started really starting to play a bit more, and starting to actually look at what meta decks were and all this sort of stuff. And then shout out Gavin, who is my absolute goat, and I would not have qualified for Continentals without him, because basically he would give me like hours of his time, just like whenever he was about to go to bed and I was like just finishing my work or something, and he would be like or like on a lunch break or something, and he'd be like, oh yeah, let's jam some testing. So he beat my ass with Wing, made sure I understood that red blue was a cope deck, and then we started trying out 1 Year War aggro because that was starting to get really big in Japan, and it was something we had experimented with before, but we'd also kind of both just sucked a bit at the start. So we ran into that wall of like, okay, aggro is really good when you're bad at the game, and then suddenly you play another deck that the person's good, and suddenly aggro sucks, and you're like, okay, this deck's a meme, like it was just running over people because they were bad. And then we realized, no, we were bad. This deck is broken. Japan cracked it. So then ground like shitload of 1 Year War testing for Seville. Came top 4. It's where I ended up meeting Edwin, and then finding our mysterious long-term connection via Chris, which was hilarious. Because I think Chris messaged us both individually, just like, hey, like one of my old mates is there with you. He's also in top 4. And I was like, huh? What? What are the odds of that? Which was cool. And then, yeah, Set 2 came out. Didn't make any other deck better that I was interested in playing. So kept playing 1 Year War. Went to Bristol. Tried out Kevin's white base build. Found I just preferred to Resolve, but obviously I still did pretty decently. Got top 16 there, and then got very high rolled in top 16. But it is what it is. And then, yeah, so overall my experience of the meta, I would say, has basically been Set 1, I think Xeon Aggro was like far and away the best deck, but I think there were so many free wins to be had that like if you were playing Wing, if you were playing well, I mean, even if you're playing blue-white, which I think had the most unwinnable Xeon matchup in the universe, you were still doing fine. Blue-white aggro was really good, really scary. So I thought like the meta for a Set 1 of the game, I thought was pretty good. Even though I thought Xeon was the best deck, it wasn't that much better than like the other stuff. There was a good amount of like usually the better player was winning. There wasn't a huge amount of like bullshit. So I really enjoyed Set 1. Set 2, adding in an extra blocker and basically changing nothing else about the meta. Okay, and also adding in. So the one thing it did change is it added an aggro deck. That was a bad matchup for 1 Year War. So basically making 1 Year War way worse and everything else a bit better. but not making 1 Year War so much worse that it wasn't still like a really viable meta choice. So it just made like the whole format harder. But I still think a balanced format for sure. So like overall, I think I really enjoyed set 1. Set 2's kind of didn't enjoy it as much, but I think part of that is just it's basically set 1.5 really. Like I don't think it's actually changed that much when I was hoping it would change a lot, and I really wanted to play red. And that's basically everything I've got to say. So I will throw it to Edwin to you, so you can give us your little history as the wing boy in the group.
When you tell the story, it's even more funny. I mean, we started with the beta. Like my friend has a small card game store, basically. He got lucky with the beta. He got a few of them. I was one of the last ones to arrive. Got Overflowing Affection beta art as well.
Oh my god.
So imagine going into the store and there's like only 2 left. And I told him like, which one do I get? Like, just pick one. Okay, I picked that one. And all the other ones already opened their boxes. And I pulled that Overflowing Affection all the time. Like, you guys chose the wrong box, guys. And still wasn't sure about the game, but I really love Gundam. So what I did is like, I just shared the case with some friends, and filled out the boxes, did some pre-releases, and just tried to get some cards. And the first time I played a game, I started Blue White. I was like, I saw the color combination, I was like, this is so broken. If you can't get aggroed out, you get so much advantage. And the funny thing is, everybody was riding the unicorn hype. I was actually riding the aerial hype from the start already, because I saw like few cards like Striker Pack, Show Resolve, Unforeseen. Like when I was watching First Combat, nobody was playing Unforeseens or Striker Packs, and I was like, why is nobody playing this? Like, it's like you get a +1 from aerial, you can negate the opponent, making a +2. I was like, this is insane, like actually insane. And then because I noticed like, oh, probably I know more about certain cards than other people, so maybe I should try again, play competitively again. So I asked my girlfriend for permission, and I was allowed to go to Sevilla together if I took her with me. So, so we went there as my first big tournament, and tried to see how far I could get, right? Basically, my whole idea for the whole season was like, do I still have it or not? That's basically the whole idea. Can I still compete at the highest level with such a long break? Because it's different than back then. Back then, 10 years ago, there were barely any videos. Chris was like one of the only ones posting Vanguard videos. Yeah. There were no guides, like all the basic stuff, like all the TG fundamentals. You had to learn everything by yourself, right? So
it was also wild because you had so much surprise factor. Like it was like you could kind of show up and have no idea what you were going to be.
Like everybody attacking against each other. Basically, it was really funny. Like even in Vanguard or Body Fight, where the decks seem relatively simple, decking 4 or 5 cards differently might change the outcome of the match. So like, it was such a weird way to come from a meta like that to Gundam, where everybody's posting all the decks online. I was like, and even then I was thinking, why are you guys not changing the deck list? Like, this deck list don't make much sense to me sometimes. Like, you guys are just stalling the game, putting blockers down, and just putting show resolves. I'm like, if that's your game plan, okay, but and I noticed that Blue White was so good against Wing, so I was like, Wing is bad. That was my first idea. So imagine me saying Wing is bad on day 1. And then when that Blue started winning during the first big tournaments in America, when I saw Eggman winning with it, I was like, I got rushed down a few times where I read Blue, and I was like, is it just luck, or is it like the way the deck works or the matchup works, right? And then people started attacking in Sword Strikes. There was the Unicorn Tempo build and everything. And then I was thinking right before Sevilla, I was like, if I play Blue White, I can outskill my opponent maybe, but if I low roll, I die, right? Against aggro. If I play Wing and I high roll, can someone win against me? Probably not. So I just tried to go into the tournament and win. And I made the deck like right before one new type challenge. I tried it once, I lost against Becker. So I imagine me like, this deck's not that good, but and I was like playtesting against my friend. I went 0-12. Like, and made me doubt the deck. I was like, you know what? I just put in one launcher strike because I only had one in hand right before the tournament and just go with it. And I went 8-0. It's really funny. Like, that's right. And I noticed like I was probably one of the only ones playing Death Scythe, because I was like, the Death Scythe gives so much value. Like the fact that you can ramp, you can first strike an opponent unit is like insane, especially mid game where it's like level 5-6, where most of the units are either like Ale Strike or like Unicorn or like Gundam Amado for aggro maybe. So I guess in a sense I was lucky with a meta call there. I'm not sure if it's really like a smart call in hindsight. I was like, basically, I think this deck works. Probably like the same with you. You think that deck works, so I'll just try it for the regionals.
Yeah,
right? I think it's the same idea.
There
basically,
was very little information out.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of stuff. Like I had like 5 or 6 aggro matchups, all different kinds. Like I had one UR, red, blue, ping. I had blue, white, aggro. I saw a blue, white tempo. Like I saw a lot of different decks in Sevilla, and in the end, because I used to main blue white, that actually helped me a lot in a lot of matchups because I knew like exactly how to block and different stuff, and made the aggro matchup a lot easier in the sense that most people just first time the deck right back then, like or like maybe played for a week because it wasn't out that long yet when you were. So people didn't know exactly how to play the matchup out. So the wing versus when you were matchup was kind of luck based. like it's based, nobody, both of us. Yeah, like the wing player, me, and the one you were player both can misplay a lot because we don't know exactly how it works. Right? We just think how we should play the matchup out. And then I went to Dusseldorf as well. I went 6-2, so didn't make top cut. Was lost by 1 match. Lost to a good friend of mine, so I mean, it happens. He won top 16, I didn't. And in Utrecht, I decided to try something really risky. It's off? Like, yeah, it paid off a lot. I tried the Operation Meteor build. I saw a lot of ideas of hanging around online. I was like, if I just see what was played in Dusseldorf, which was a lot of white, but make a deck around white and trying to beating white decks, I might get lucky and get into top cut again. Dodge all aggro.
Bro was testing for the set 2 method before he came out.
Yeah. And I saw the heavy arms like, oh, that's a nice addition, man. So it's like, it helped me a lot making the decision just to try it. I was like, I already qualified, so why not?
Exactly.
Yeah, and I noticed like a lot of blue-white players did not know what they were doing. Like they didn't, because they thought I would just put down Shenlong, and if they get rid of it, it would be done. And then they death their Ailstrike, for example, or like death their Freedom. So a lot of times, it was in my favor that nobody knew what they were expecting when they faced me. Obviously, in Top Cut was different, right? Because everybody already saw each other's deck, so it was a bit different. And I think it was before the tournament started, I played a lot of Epion. I was almost going Epion, and then in the night before, I was like, you know what? I just counter my own Epion deck and just go with it. The whole idea. And then I think for finals, I also made another meta call. It's like I switched my wing deck around to be a more safer build with the Justice with 0 commands, basically. Except for Path of Victory Defeat, it was just more a tech choice for memes. In the case I get lucky and just get something out of it. And that was it. I think the Utrecht second place, I think solidified my name a bit more. Like when Sevilla, I think both me and Aibo were like, yeah, we could have been lucky.
We were
right?
like,
there were people,
we weren't
yeah, yeah,
like,
and there were people not doing what they were exactly doing. Like there were casuals there were competitive players. There was a mix of everything there.
The standard was pretty low. I mean, this was like maybe a week or two after like a top cut American aggro player tried to add the pilot off of the top 3 Zaku Surge, and you're just like, okay, so this guy went like 7 and like 8 and 1 or like 9 and 0 yesterday, and is doing this in top cut. So it's like new game. Everyone sucks at it, right? So I think getting the second one definitely makes you feel a lot more confident, right? Like
yeah. And I think like if I did not play Operation Meteor, I would not have gotten that far because I had to play like 3 or 4 blue whites.
Yeah, there you go.
And they were not bad. So they matched like I actually had to OTK them. Like I had to show them all the secrets of the deck to win. It's actually insane. So yeah, and I think most of them played around it almost how you should play the matchup. Like play greedy, play show of resolve, try to get the big blockers out to stall out against Shenlong, and like it's a hard matchup. So,
no, for sure.
I think that's basically how the season went. I mean, yeah, I'm sad I can't go to Japan in 3rd place again, but this is what it is.
Just come.
Yeah, let's come.
Come anyway. Yeah, thanks. And then Thomas, do you want to give us just a little bit of a rundown on your thoughts on set 1, set 2 meta, your tournaments you went to?
Yeah, sure. Sort of so I wasn't in Civil, and for me, well, I went to the new type challenges, to like every new type challenge, to all of the locals here locally, played a lot of Gundam online in Tabletop Simulator, whatever, and even with webcam tournaments, I was not so sure if I should join them, try them out, or whatever. But when they announced that the regional will happen in Düsseldorf one of the first regionals. I was like, okay, this is perfect. Let me get the ticket. Let's go there. Let me also get the ticket for Utrecht. It's like, okay, 3 hour drive maybe at most, like 2.5 hours from here. So at this time, let's say from the beginning of when I started playing the game, I was playing blue-white. It was just because I like the colors. No Gundam seed. With Kira, I was a bit, yeah. I knew some of the Gundams, right? So I haven't watched all of the shows and so on. But I was like, okay, let's play some colors that I know a bit from. Then I swapped to Academy because I wanted to make it work. I was like, okay, I will play Blue-White Academy. I like the cards. I haven't seen the anime actually, but I liked the cards, how they looked, and I was like, okay, let's just play this. And it went so-so. It went okay. I played a lot against Becca and my locals and new type challenges, and I also took him to like 2 different new type challenges. I took him with the car with me, and I think the one in her tier he won this one, and I was top 4 with Academy Aggro at that time, like pure white list, some draw spells, and just go face, just go into the shields. I high rolled quite a lot there actually to get that right. It's a meme deck, and still somehow worked. But yeah, after that I was like, okay, I have to change things up. I swapped to Unicorn. Didn't play the Amuru package actually. I played the Kira Sword Strike package. And I played a very aggressive Unicorn list because I found myself. So I cut the ward from the beginning, right from the deck. I never played the ward in this type of decks. I still don't think that. I think the card is actually overrated. I still think the card is highly overrated. And I found myself in mirror matches. It's like the end of you. So if you draw this card, you can't put pressure on your opponent. Even against green-white, you play this card and they ignore you. They don't care. They just wait, draw, play higher cards. Don't rest. And now your Zawad is just stuck there, does nothing. Dies to wing on turn 8. So I played an aggressive list with gyms and results and so on. But in Düsseldorf, I went 5-3 because the first game I lost against a mirror match. So it was a very long mirror match that had gone into overtime. But my opponent had Gundam Kira on the field for like 6 turns. And this card gets insane value, right? So this combination is like the dirtiest combination possible. And yeah, this was just over. And the next game I played against Arman. He started the game. He was coached by Becca for like 2 days and started playing blue-green Xeon aggro.
This
And
Armand who like
high rolled
wins
me
loads of
completely.
One Piece tournaments.
Yeah, so yeah. So he's a very good player, right?
He's good.
So he's
He's
a very
good,
good player, and Gundam is not that complicated. I mean, he tried to link his Amuru under Angsha at one point and was like link attack, and I was like, no, it's not possible.
No.
But he's like, it's like Earth Federation, and I'm like, no, it has to say link in the bottom below. But I let him took it back because I was like, he started the game and he got coached by Becca. I was like, okay, take it back, no problem. This was not the reason I lost. I was already losing, and I was like, it doesn't matter if he does it or not. I will lose this game. I had like 1 blocker, I think, in the game, and 1 sword strike, but the link was Mulaflaga. So I attack, bounce, and then die against the unit I attack. And I'm like, okay, so this is like the worst case that can happen. Then I won. I think I won 4 games in a row after that. Well, it's easier, right? So you lose 2. Now you play against people that also lost a lot. And then I actually made a mulligan mistake against someone because I assumed he played aggro. And I mulliganed my hand. It was completely fine, but had no blockers. And then he played blue-red. And I could have just played normally against him. So actually, it was the person that I played against in the last round of Swiss in the European finals. And yeah, so happens. I went 5-3 there, but this actually encouraged me to go to Utrecht even more. So I was like, okay, I think this is very doable. And yeah, meta changed. Epion came out. I was like, okay, perfect. I can drop Unicorn, stop playing a 3-card combo and play a 2-card combo that does the same and better. So yeah, brewed a bit on my deck, went to Utrecht and went 6-2 on the first day, then got kicked out of top 16 because of low rolls in the aggro matchup. And after that, I swapped like 3 cards of my deck that I think were kind of greedy for me to play them. Like I played like 4 Gundams, I swapped to 3. I played 3 Tolgis, I swapped to 2. Put Launcher Strike in and also the Kusanagi base as a one-off instead of 3 Nahalagamas. And yeah, this was like then I was sure that this deck is the best meta call against a green-white meta.
Yeah, which we very much were in, I would say.
That I thought that everyone will play green-white, right? I looked at the players for the European tournament and I was like, well, they won with green-white. Most of them won with green-white in the top 16. So they will stick to their deck. Why would they change it? And yeah, this was the right call.
I guess you made the same meta call like me, right? I assumed everybody would be green-white, and I assumed I would not lose the mirror. That's basically.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think
it was a safe call, right? Because
Yeah.
you look at the meta at finals, and it was literally like it must have been 40%.
Yeah, I think
it was ridiculous.
Like
it was a huge
green-white.
number. Nice. Okay. Well, thanks for that summary. We've got a bunch of stuff to go through, so we're going to keep the next couple sections quite brief. Brief overview on competitive season 1, then I want to hear what you guys think about how it was managed. So, we had the first combats in August. There was just a couple of them, and I don't think then the pricing wasn't anything like super crazy, but I think that was fine. The game had just came out, and then we had like the regional season, and Bandai has its like annual cycle, but they clearly wanted to sync up Gundam into that, so they kind of started in the middle of it. Whereas, like, you know, One Piece and all their other games have this going for a full year. So there were only 4 regionals in Europe and also in North America, and I think there were a couple in Latam and Oceania. And in order to qualify for Continentals, you had to get top 16 out of regionals. And then at the regionals, obviously, you had to get finals to go to Worlds. And I guess it was all a very condensed timeline, right? Because the first regional was the 27th or 28th of September, and Dusseldorf finals was 13th, 14th of December. So that's literally like less than 3 months in the whole, like, it's what, like 10 weeks or something for the whole season, which is really, really fast. And I think like my view was that it was way too hard to qualify for Dusseldorf, just because you low roll twice and then that's it.
That's
you know,
true,
and it's
true.
like, and it was a tiny finals, right? Like, I mean, 100 players only because of the last chance qualifier. Otherwise, I think it would have been way more. There was no way to qualify through stores, which I know that's what they do in One Piece. And also, honestly, the pricing, like the Armro, fantastic, no complaints whatsoever, but it felt pretty stingy. Like all your pricing was either for showing up or for making top 3. Like that was, and like if you finished
no
like
top
16,
8 pricing, right? So
no
this
top
is
8
like the
pricing,
problem, yeah.
no top 4 pricing. I thought they were so what they do in One Piece is they take all of the store tournament promos they've given out in that year, and they put those in promo packs like the resource packs, and they make them full art, and they have a little stamp that says like Championship 2025 on them, whatever. And I was like, oh, surely they're going to do that. That seems like a slam dunk, like a no-brainer. They didn't do that. They reused pricing from like the normal regionals and stuff. So I think like not to sound ungrateful, but like my feedback on that is like it's kind of boring pricing. Like obviously getting like everyone's aiming for qualifying for Worlds and all that stuff is obviously great, but there are a lot of people who went home having won in number of games, probably only winning like 2 or 3 less than I did, right? And going home with like almost nothing compared to how much like we all went home with. So I don't know. I think they definitely can improve that. And also, Worlds is way too small. Why is it 16 players? What are we doing? Like, Bushy Road Worlds is like 100 plus per game. and they don't pay for everyone to go, and I don't think they need to. Like Bandai, like absolutely keep paying for some people to go, but like, you know, you expand worlds and have people like who qualify just fly themselves out, because I don't think there's any reason to be so stingy. Those are my thoughts. I don't know if you guys have anything that was particularly good or that you would want changed for like next season, which will probably start around March, I imagine.
I think, I mean, coming from 10 years ago, Bushiroad giving me a certificate for not making rules, making me pissed already is like, this is already 10 times better, man. Like, okay,
Yeah,
I have a whole folder of like certificates, even the body fight one, like for top 4.
Yeah, I've got mine somewhere.
That's a random story for another time, but getting top 4 in body fight, so random. Like getting cards and at least getting something, like it's already nice. I do agree with the world invites, like they're way too. Asia's even worse. Like it's like Latam and Oceania, like top 1. Like imagine going finals. You have like the best players of the region facing a random player who high rolled like 6 times in a row. He just high roll you again and he wins and he goes worlds. Like that can happen, right?
It's crazy.
Yeah, and there are a lot of good.
There's no points system or something.
Yeah, I mean, point system makes it a bit harder for people that can't go to every tournament, in a sense. So,
I like that there's actually no point system.
Yeah,
because you have to travel a lot and so on.
And store regionals also, not to say much about the skill level in general, but like if you have store regionals, you can have lower skilled people joining the finals as well. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but matters in the sense that because of how the game works and they high roll you, that means that it can screw up your win rate. Your matchup rate, basically, right? Because of if they, I mean, it doesn't matter if they keep winning, but it can happen that you lose to someone that keeps losing, and then you're kind of screwed, right?
So and that is a consequence of where the meta is right now. But it's very true, and it's like it will definitely be back in this meta again, where it's just high roll.
I mean, in the end, like what I did notice is that deck building in general carries you a lot, even against low roll and high roll. Like it's actually insane. Like having certain cards in your the fact that you play a certain deck version, it doesn't need to be how I approach tournaments. Like also different. It's like the tournament meta is never the same as the locals meta or like the real meta, because depending on how many people choose a certain deck, the meta changes. Like except everybody chooses green white, for example, that one Epion player will have fun. Especially if you don't play any Death Scythe, you will even have more fun. Like just imagine how bad it can be, right?
That's true.
If they all play Shenlong Wing against Epion, well, good luck. Especially if the Epion is greedy and play a lot of draw cards, like GT01, Gundam, Sure Resolve, whatever, right? The moment it swaps around and it becomes all aggro, that Epion player is crying inside.
Yeah. But then you see red-blue again.
Yeah.
You see red-blue a lot.
So, yeah, so I think that's the tournament works, and the meta is like way different. That also makes the, what I want to say is more like inconsistent how you can win, right? Having stingy pricing in general makes it feel, I don't know, sometimes like I think I feel bad for people who just showed up. Like imagine having to travel like all the way from all the side for Europe just to go to finals, just to only get Amuro and get outsacked 1-5, for example.
They have to give the top cut players an additional reward every time, because you show up for the second day. So you have to give them a second reward. People like, I talk to Kevin a lot, right? So Kevin got top 8, lost the first round, showed up on the Sunday for absolutely nothing, right? So he came, lost. He could have gotten his rewards the day before. Then they also excluded us from the shop, which is another story, right?
As a whole, we'll talk. So, we'll briefly talk about Cardfest in a moment. Yeah.
So this is like very bad pricing in this category. Everything else I think is fine, like top 64, 32 is like fine. Top 16, everything is good. But after the top 16, they're missing something a bit more special. Regionals, you had the hero.
Exactly.
So the hero is top 4.
Even if it
Why
had
don't
just
we
been
have
an
top
extra
4
Armoro.
Cards, right?
Yeah,
So,
but the thing is, if it had just been an extra Armoro, I'd be like, you know what? Sure.
sure.
At least,
Just give us
okay,
another Armoro.
sure. Yeah.
Also the 4th player, right? The one that got 4th place in the European.
You get
final.
nothing.
Really bad.
I mean, this is like devastating, right? So you were so close and you get like nothing.
Yeah. I mean, you're already salty. You can't go to Worlds. That's like number 1, and then you lose again.
And you don't even get one of these or like a trophy.
Yeah, like nothing small, like nothing like.
Yeah. Just give another armor or something.
Yeah,
Dude.
it's insane.
It should be like a wooden spoon or something, because like something like you got like also like as much as that sucked for Chris who got 4th here, at least it also sucked for Edwin because like in this sense it sucked for both of them because neither of them are going to Worlds. Like it just sucked. In America, one person in that 3rd, 4th playoff goes to Worlds. The person who comes 4th in America has got to be having the worst day. Because imagine, like, you win that top 8. You literally need to win 2 more games and you're going to Worlds. Either the next 2 or the 2 after that. It's going to feel awful.
Yeah, especially imagine like how I won at the 3rd place match. Like I highrolled one, he was bricked. Okay, done. And the other one was basically a close match, which was like 1 or 2 card difference, right? So imagine losing like that. You're immediately very salty, get nothing, and you can go home.
Yeah. And he had to stay there for like hours playing out all these extra games for no difference in rewards. He could have just gone
you waste time actually.
You waste time, you waste money. You have to stay for like an extra night
fun
in the hotel,
and so on, but you waste time, right? And also if you travel. So
exactly. He was from the UK, so I mean, like I know
UK,
it was quite.
Yes,
it was an expensive trip. Yeah. He was at my new type challenge last weekend. I think he's going to be at the ones I've got this weekend as well.
Yeah, for the pricing in locals and for the what Edwin said earlier about the meta changing in locals and that it's completely different, right, from the bigger regional tournaments. This is also something that locals. I find it a bit sad that locals don't really help you prepare for big tournaments, because I played my locals and some friend of mine shows up with blue purple high value Epion mix deck whatever, and I have no chance because my deck plays for the regional meta, right? So I play like blockers and I have to play more I can't be that greedy, and he's like, okay, I draw with my first form Barbatross like 4 cards because I play every draw card that is possible, and now I lose. And I mean, it's fun, and locals should also be fun, right? So this is completely fine. But at the same time, it would be nice to have more opportunities to, like store regionals, right? To have like more competitive.
Exactly. And something like that where it's very clear that's focused. Now we have new type challenges, and this is the last thing I want to say on this. But the new type challenges are really good, except for the fact that for some reason they hate the West, because in Japan it's top 8 get the Haman promo.
This is
but in the West it's top 4, and that would be fine if it didn't mean that there was a 50% chance if you go X1 you just get nothing. Like, that's a joke. So that needs to change. Like, Bandai need to just make that top 8, do exactly what you're doing in Asia, and we're absolutely fine.
And just give every store a package, right? Like, my friend just got silver rank, so he can apply now. But imagine, like, all the small stores don't have new type challenges, and like, it makes people come to your store, and now only the big stores have one. And like, I think I saw Thomas at one of ours. Like, that competition there is insane. That one has like 10 people for finals more. Going to
February.
Yeah, like imagine going there for your new type challenge, and you have to face like about 10% or more from finals. Yeah. Like, how are you gonna win? Like that's And there are so many people that could have qualified as well. So like we have very hard new type challenges over here, and I'm like, I mean, for me, I don't like it's okay, but
six people new type challenges happen
in Netherlands, it's actually pretty nice, right? So you have like more new type challenges, and they're also bigger, right? So you have like 64 player new type challenges.
Yeah, but our locals are like. Let me say this: I never win locals. I won once.
Oh, okay.
So
I have like I've won like 12 times now or something, but this is also because sometimes I go to locals with 6 players, right?
Yeah. I mean, like from the bigger locals, I only won once. So imagine how big the competition can be at times, right? So like it's actually insane. If everybody comes, it's actually insane.
They should just also the new type challenge thing. They stopped supporting like 2 stores here in North Rhine-Westphalia, where I actually live in Germany, and now we don't have other new type challenges. So now we're looking for Netherlands, right? So many people are going to buy tickets to Netherlands. And there's one new type challenge here from the store in Essen where I live, and this is sold out in like seconds, right? And after that, they don't provide other stores the new type challenges because they think that because their locals are not running.
Yeah, I mean, how they do it with Digimon, I mean, I don't think Krishna is like, but like, they give every store a package.
Yeah.
So if there's 4 man locals, you have top 4 immediately. Like you get your top 4 pricing, but it lowers the
That's what
prices
they
of the
should do.
cards. Actual casuals can get them. I mean, imagine starting the game. You like Haman, you like Quibbly, you want the one. Yeah, dish
Why is
out
it
500.
£500?
Yeah, for example.
I'm
that's
seeing
the
this
same.
sell for
Yeah.
$600.
Yeah.
Like, what
Yeah,
are we
it's
doing?
insane, yeah.
This should not be $600. It's
No,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
No, it should
Yeah.
be like 80.
Yeah, 100 at most.
Yeah.
You're like, what are we
Yeah.
what are we doing here, right? Like,
And I think the only thing I
so-
want to say before we end on this, like, if you give every sort of package, let's say someone random just buys a starter deck and goes, and he can technically win, right?
Yeah.
So like now it's too hard to win something, and it's like I see a lot of
It's very hard.
yeah, a lot of casuals told me that they don't enjoy the game as much anymore because if you have to play against top tier players every locals, like even if you're playing meme
Yeah,
decks,
like,
it's
you're
still
not-
like
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Like if you're not going to get fun and
Yeah.
any of that stuff. So I think they need to make it less of a thing where like I feel like I have to go to these things because I'm like, well, the card's like £500 or £600. I mean, in this case, I
I mean,
wanted
they're
them
fun
anyway
also. I
because
think they're like small regionals, right? So
exactly, yeah. But like I wanted the Hamans anyway. Like I actually am going to play this card. Like so I was going for this, but obviously like I'm not going to pass up the chance of that. I just think I agree with you with what you said. So definitely some places for Bandai to improve. But obviously I think like credit where it's due as well. They didn't have to do anything for this year. Like considering when the game came out and like how it was probably very, very logistically challenging for them to make it all line up and have a full tournament circuit. I am very grateful they did one. I just hope that they realize that like and like that's kind of why it's like, okay, listen, like there were some issues, but like you can improve. Speaking of issues, so we'll keep this very brief. Cardfest. I think we have to talk about it. Just an unadulterated shit show on the organization side. Like, I mean, very briefly, I will just say like the big things that like they had to fix. Okay, I'll say one good thing. I think it was really good how for the shop, the competitors got to go early and they could only buy things for their game, and that was fantastic because if you were there for One Piece, you could go and you could guarantee you'd get your One Piece thing. There for Gundam, you go, you guarantee you get your Gundam thing. That was a great idea. I think they should roll that out. They should do that for every single place. Fantastic idea. Well done, Bandai. That was good. The rest of it was totally awful. The logistics were like sucked. Like the tournaments were meant to fire on the first day at like 10 a.m. and it was like 12:30 before One Piece started. Like at 11 there was like 1,500 people like waiting at the door. So like clearly nowhere near enough organization. Even though they knew how many people were going, like it was still ridiculously delayed. There was no signposting anywhere. There was no signage. Like the table's numbers like snaked around, but like so you didn't know where to go, and it's like all they had to do was have a little sign dangling from the ceiling. It was like tables 0 to 400 here, tables 401 to 800 here, and it's like okay, cool. Now I know roughly where to go. I can just look, and I'm not standing around like a dickhead. The food sucked. There was like almost nothing decent.
Actually,
Sorry, go on.
I thought it was good.
You like the food? Fair enough.
Yeah.
It better
Maybe
than
what
nothing.
you got was better
Better
than
than
what I
nothing.
got.
Better than nothing.
Yeah. It was better
What
than
did you
nothing.
eat? What did you eat?
I had that Asian.
Oh, okay,
noodle.
okay. Maybe this why I didn't have the Asian one. So
Okay, fine. The noodles sucked. I'll say the noodles
I
sucked.
didn't try those.
Okay, fine. But so definitely that could improve a bit. The toilet situation was good, so credit there.
One thing I didn't like is that they put female and male together. Like you could go to the female toilet. Imagine being a woman and you have to go. I mean,
Didn't
like
didn't
yeah.
make any sense, right?
didn't even
Because
need it, right?
They had separate toilets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I
don't know what
think
that
it
was.
was for inclusiveness, right? I think they did it because maybe some people would not feel included or something. But to tell the truth, they could have just decided that one specific toilet is like a unisex toilet and just make the rest normal, right?
Yeah.
So something like this.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Like I imagine, like I mean, I didn't see that many women, but imagine being there, like, like
I actually know some that went there and had found it weird.
yeah, I'm personally I found it weird. Like I mean, like
I mean, I remember walking in and thinking I'd walked into the wrong toilet and just going, "Oh, I'm really sorry." And then she was like, "No, this is unisex." I was like, "Okay, cool, sorry." I was like, "Oh my god." But yeah, and then what else was a shit show? I mean, the queuing was ridiculous. The whole thing, like, I won't even get into that. But like, it's
They should just for the stores, right? Just you know how many people are coming. You sold the tickets. Give everyone the opportunity to buy the product once or maybe even 4 times, right? So I think if only the Gundam player would have bought the Gundam products, everyone could have gone away with a playset of the binder.
I'm sure.
yeah, Probably.
And they didn't do that, and this made me mad. This is like the biggest issue because it was a paradise for scalpers, and
Yes, there was a lot of backpack vending. What was also crazy is like the first 2 days, you just had to go and physically queue. Like you just had to be there early. And then on the final day, when almost everything was sold out, they realized, oh, we can do a digital queue actually. And I'm like, well, wouldn't that have been better? Like just get everyone to sign up in the digital queue. No one's waiting outside at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Like on Saturday, I got there at 6:30.
same.
Like, yeah, it was
And
ridiculous.
it was useless, yes.
Yeah, exactly. The participation pricing, even for like the One Piece LCQ, like that took hours to get. Like, first off, like I walked over and like no, okay. Oh, here's another thing. No one knew anything. Like there was no this isn't the fault of like any individual person necessarily, like any individual judge or whatever. But like I would go and I would ask, oh, who do I talk to about this? And they would go, well, I don't know, so it's probably that person. Okay. Da-da-da. Hey, who do I talk to about this person? I was told to come here. Oh, no, I don't know. You actually want to go talk back to that person you're just speaking to. Okay, gang. Well, he's just told me he doesn't know. So what do you want from me, right? Like, there was so much stuff where, like, I think literally, like, all of these problems are solvable by spending, like, an extra day or two before we all show up, just setting up the venue, making sure everything's there, making sure you've, like, you know, tested stuff and like had actually thought about it, and then just throwing a little bit of extra money at the problem, right? Like the stream was super delayed, so that was a whole other thing where like we had to get them to swap our finals around because otherwise I was going to miss my flight, and I was like, well, there won't be a finals because like like what do you want? You know, like I have to get home, I have a job,
Yeah.
right? Like I can't miss that. What else? I'm sure I'm forgetting other stuff that was just bad.
Also, I don't want to throw shade against other card games or other IPs from Bandai, but Dragon Ball Masters, really, it's like they don't even have casters, right? So they played like music for.
I actually didn't know that. I actually didn't know that. That's
I
crazy.
think they just played music over the game.
That is crazy.
It's actually insane.
Oh my God.
I mean, okay, I don't know. The game I think is alive in Japan, very very nice, right? But I think in Europe,
I mean, you could
It's
qualify
not-
for finals by just buying a ticket.
by just
You
buying-
just showed up. Yeah. You did. Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
no,
there were
that's-
people, right? I think there were like 100, a bit more, some more than 100. Maybe there were even.
Yeah, it was like
full.
150.
Okay.
Well, one of my good friends is like he got second at Worlds for Masters and stuff. Like he plays the game very seriously, but it's like it's not a big player base. Like yeah, I think there's just basically like there was a laundry list of issues. You can watch lots of 30 to 40 minute YouTube videos that will tell you about everything. I have a vlog that will come out at some point and that will show you everything. I haven't even edited it yet. But yeah, just Bandai, please fix it. Like,
Yeah.
come on. This is embarrassing. Like, you shouldn't, like, this is your premier, like, flagship event. Last year was a total shit show. Like, we all heard how bad
Choose
last
better.
year's finals was.
Choose better organizers, right? So it's,
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
I mean, it's
I don't
not-
know,
it's not
like,
even-
whoever's fault it is. Like, just
yeah,
fix
it's the organizers that they are actually deciding to go with. in
Yeah, well,
those-
what I
those
find
events.
baffling is the One Piece one I went to 2 years ago, I think was the same organisers. That was 2,500 players, and it was great. It was run really well. So I don't know what the issue is. It's like a funding issue. It's like a,
Who knows?
like,
yeah.
I don't know what has changed, like, outside of, like, more people, but, like, anyway, it's very frustrating. Please sort it out, Bandai. It was a universally terrible experience for basically everyone who went, which sucked because everyone was very excited to be there. All the judges really cared and wanted you to have a good time.
Yeah,
All the staff really cared and wanted you to have a good time. And yet, what you basically have is everyone there. They're trying to like make sure everyone has a good time, and no one's having a good time because of like all these other things that just shouldn't be issues at all. So it just sucks all around because no one has fun. Everyone feels bad at the end of it. Everyone goes back and is like complaining, and it's like, we don't have to do that. We can all be happy.
I mean, from experience, probably just a management problem because every individual we saw from the judges or the staff were mostly, not all, mostly trying to help us.
99%.
Obviously, we're like my deck change for 3 hours until you helped me. It was insane. God. So, but still, like both of them tried their best. Even when I was lost for top 3, it was even more funny. I was eating a friend of mine is a judge, and I was just eating in front of him, just like tell me when I need to go to my top 3 match. And they seemed to wanted to start, but they couldn't find me, so he just grabbed me and took me to the
Wow.
top 3 match. So a lot of stuff happened. Like they tried their
a
best.
lot of chaos. A lot of chaos.
At least, from what it's worth, finals went fluently.
Yeah, like it got a lot better once there weren't 5,000 people in the venue.
Yeah.
Like they got, I mean, the final day, like Once
Also,
the
they
shop
made
stuff was all done.
They made the swap, right? That you
Yeah.
requested.
Exactly. So like the credit,
Flights and so on.
there were
Yeah.
nuggets in there that were good, and like I don't want to only focus on the negative, but like my God, like
It's like I
please,
have nothing negative to say about a person that was there because
exactly.
the people were all trying their best, doing their best. Everyone's friendly, and but
Yeah, exactly.
the management failed completely.
Yep. So, yeah, fix that Bandai. Last two little topics of conversation. So we'll start with the announcement that the Japan finals. So this is all we know. The Japan finals, which is happening on the 14th of February, which is the same weekend as the North America Continental Championship. So this is where the Japanese players will try and qualify for Worlds. 4 of them will qualify, and so it's top 4. I think it's only like a 32-player tournament or something. So it's like if you made it, it's crazy. But you had to win a pod, I believe. Anyway, it might be more than 32. It might be like 64 or something. So that is going to be played in Swiss and in Top Cut, best of 3, with a sideboard. Discuss.
Yeah. How much time do we know the time they have for each round?
I think it's like an hour.
again?
An hour still, including
Yeah, so-
side decking.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
So first thing, I think it's nice to try something new, right? I think it's important for the game because best of 1 can feel very high rolly, especially in higher competitive play. Because in locals, I like that it's best of 1, and even in Swiss, for bigger tournaments like regionals, I find it exhausting to play too many rounds in a row, right? So like going overtime every game, and you have to play best of 3. From Digimon, this was very, very exhausting. The regionals were terribly because you have to prepare food in advance, drinks and everything, because you don't have time. Your round ends, and now you start the next game for 9 rounds, and your brain is completely fried at some point. I think having 1 hour is already a good start, but I don't know if siding inside this hour is like enough.
I think from
played-
like from experience, overtime is easily got. Chris knows I would have gotten finals in Sevilla if it was not overtime. Like imagine how bad that feels, right? You get overtime
Yeah.
and you lose the match. That's
True.
actually
The time-
insane.
Time rules suck. The time rules do suck. Although I will say, so I play a lot of Star Wars Unlimited, which is a far more complex game than Gundam, and that's best of 3 with sideboard, also an hour. And I think going to time is very hard. There are like 2 reasons why it happens, or 3. One is someone wants it to happen. Okay, if your opponent wants to go to time, you're going to go to time. This slow play is very, very hard to enforce. You're playing a control mirror, which that's a risk you take when you take a more controlling deck. That happens. And you're playing against someone very new. And those are the only 3 times. Because when both players know what they're doing, neither player wants to go to time. They want to just play it out. Unless one of them wants to go to time, right? Like if game 1 takes forever, I win, then I am incentivized by their time rulings. Well, I was. There are draws now, I will say. So so in the best of 3... Oh, sorry, I forgot to also... There are draws. So if you win game 1, and then you finish game 2, you do the overtime, and if your opponent ends up winning game 2 on that overtime procedure, it's a draw. Whereas before, if it was the best of 3, one player, I win game 1, no matter what, no matter what happens, if we are still in game 2, I just win the match. So that is a bit of a shift. There are draws now. It's quite hard.
They have to do this. They have to do this because
They have
otherwise,
to, and I think they probably need to add IDs as well, because then if you have a situation where players can draw and they want to draw, like they're gonna draw.
Just give it double loss. It's actually like I mean no joke. It's like making
loss is
people
terrible, dude.
it's terrible, but I mean enforce people not to play slow.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, double loss but the problem is with double loss if the one person wins, right, the first game, and that person stalls the second game and goes into overtime, and you receive a double loss, you still win the match.
No.
Because you-
No. I mean like double loss guaranteed.
He's saying
Oh,
like
you
double
mean-
loss
you mean
if you don't
complete
finish it.
double
But that's I promise you, like if you think the
Wow.
blue-white players are
Yeah.
upset about the idea of having to
Yeah.
sideboard, the idea of they're going to get a double loss, it's not going to fly. I mean, I think like I don't know. I think this is nothing but a great change. Like
I think,
yes, okay.
sideboarding is sideboarding is something very
It's
interesting. I
huge.
don't know if it's
It's
great
huge.
or not, but I think it is. They should try it out, right? It's something you have to try it out to know it. And in other games it works. In Digimon, I actually would have loved to have sideboarding at some point. And right now, I think it wouldn't change too much of the game. Everyone would just play like floodgates and so on, stop the other person from doing what they do best, and then the other one would sideboard in, outs to those floodgates and so on, right? So at some point in the card game, it could be too. It could be without.
It depends on what they
impact,
print.
right?
If they
It could
print
be
like a load of
things
silver
like this.
bullets, then yeah, it becomes like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah,
and it's
but
just
if they
like,
don't,
okay.
if they don't, actually, I think it's a very good idea to have sideboarding. If it's like you change the type of deck you're playing, right? So I play blockers and value units against aggro. Now I can just swap 10 units. So I swap like 10 blockers out. Now I have full value units against control mirror. So things like this. I think it's a good change. I don't know if 60 minutes is enough for this. I mean,
It should be.
I
but
play so
like-
many control decks, and I'm always the control type of guy, and also in other games. And I really appreciate not having pressure on thinking about core decisions, right? So on important decisions. And my match against Chris in the evil Chris in the top 8, right?
Oh yeah, that one went to prime,
We went to overtime.
yeah.
And we played only 2 games. So I was very calm in the beginning, in the first game, and in the beginning half of the second game. But Chris was not, and he was thinking about the time, and was saying we have to play faster, And I was like, okay, now I also get nervous. So I was like, okay, now I also get nervous because I'm getting pressured by the time. I'm getting pressured a bit, not really by my opponent, but because he's nervous, I start to also get nervous. And
But that's definitely a massive tournament experience thing, because like, I mean, I think this was Chris's like second tournament or something. Like, like when you don't play on stream, you don't
haven't played on
play
stream
in
in,
like top cuts and
Bristol
stuff.
because they
Like,
did
it's always gonna make the issue worse. I think like it adds a huge element where like there's now like 2 additional ways you can skill gap someone, right? Like but there's already ways for you to skill gap in play on the table, in your deck building, but now you can skill gap them in understanding like your sideboarding better, understanding how to counter the different matchups better, and you can also skill gap them in knowing when to scoop a game. Like that's another thing. Like if you are worried about overtime, like and you are losing a game,
actually. This is
just
true,
scoop.
actually.
Like
you could have scooped the first game very early, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like this is what I mean when I say like when people go to time, I'm like, did that have to happen? Like if you knew, like when you're seeing your percentage chance of winning that game go down and down and down and down and down, eventually you have to make a decision like, am I going to play for this 10%, or there's 45 minutes still left on the clock? I'm just going to cut my losses here because I have to win one game for this to be any chance of going somewhere. Otherwise, my best case is a draw, which sucks.
What would have happened actually if I don't even know what would have happened if he won the second game.
You guys got overtime extra for an extra match for like 15 to 20 minutes. So you would have gotten
got
a
game three.
got the game
So it
3.
wouldn't even have mattered, right? We would have played like a normal game
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So just
Yeah, okay,
it's,
so-
you know,
yeah,
like you gotta
okay.
you gotta know when to concede, right? And this is another skill. So these are things where like these are all areas where you can like you can be better than someone. So the reason I'm so excited about it is it just adds way more ways to be better than someone. It also means that like my deck is now 60 cards, and there's a lot of good cards in Gundam. So I want to be able to play more good cards because it's
also-
really hard to choose which ones to
Yeah,
play.
you can also bluff. You can
Yeah,
make,
yeah,
like, you
exactly.
can-
There's a lot more bluffing. Yeah, it just adds so much. Like
you also have to side deck before you say who goes first or second, right?
yes,
So-
which is very
so
interesting.
This is very nice. Yeah, in Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually, this was this was very fun. You could bait your opponent thinking into, yeah, you will go first next game or something. You sideboard for going second. Tell him you're going second, and now in a not so good matchup, you're suddenly winning because he sideboarded the wrong cards in.
Yep.
And you just won. So
Yep.
yeah, I think it's a good decision for top cuts. I don't know if it's a good decision for general tournament rules.
We'll see where it goes. I mean, so far it's only Japan finals. I will be very surprised if it isn't also Worlds. I think those are like a minimum.
No,
And then-
words it will be something like this.
I can't imagine it won't be. And then
I mean,
I
yeah.
imagine for regionals, like I doubt they're going to do this for like they shouldn't do this for locals. Locals should be best of one.
No,
New
for
type
local.
challenges they might do it, but like We'll see.
Maybe
But
without
they definitely
sideboard,
should
maybe
regionals.
also.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Actually, no need to, because locals go like 4 rounds,
Exactly.
and
So it's like,
new type challenges go 5, right? So
yeah, so it's like, do you really need to? But yeah, so big changes. We'll see, obviously, what that looks like, and we'll hopefully get some new news. There's a they announced today that there's a New Year live stream next week. So we're recording this Thursday night, and that will be next Thursday. Potentially, we'll get some nice news about this in other regions.
I mean, the only thing I want to
Okay.
say is like,
Yes.
wing will be broken. I mean, for this meta,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
this
yeah. That
meta,
was the thing. Right now, I think
for
wing
this
is-
meta, if this would
Wing
best
is
of 3
far
for
and away
finals,
best deck. Yeah, yeah.
I would have lots of fun.
100%. 100%. I would have to learn wing like properly. Like I'd have to like sit down.
I mean, the
and
fact
really,
I
really
can play
practice.
OP Meteor, like it's insane.
You can
Like,
play both.
yeah,
There's only
yeah, just
like, the difference between the deck lists is less than 10 cards, really. Like, and you actually go and look at it, and it's like, oh, so you can just play both.
Yeah.
Like you actually like.
and you can even be so greedy. Like you can just drop all the low blind blockers and basically you get to go all full green almost. Like it's insane what you can do.
Yep. It's
It's
crazy.
actually insane.
Yeah. So
You could
last
actually-
question. I'm sorry, I was gonna say, there's
Yeah,
last question
you-
because we've gone a little bit over.
Yeah.
So last question. Set 3, I think we all agree is looking like a crazy set. It's going to be meta impactful in some way. I would like each of you to tell me the deck you are most excited for to play in set 3, and the singular card you think is going to be the most impactful for the meta. We'll start with Edwin.
Me, yeah.
I can go first if you don't know, if you want to say anything about it. But
I can also answer first if you.
I mean,
Yeah, okay.
what I'm most excited for, like, and the most impactful card. You mean like what? Yeah. Most excited for is like to change up the meta for. I mean, basically not having 1 year war running around. I'm the most excited for that part.
Yeah.
Losing twice against on stream is painful. And I think switching to a mid-range meta might switch the game a lot. I think what will.
Yeah, to a
I
better
mean,
place.
I think
100%.
the problem we have is that with finals is that we didn't have to switch from comfort. Technically, you could just bring the same deck from Utrecht or LCQ and just go with it, right? Like I swapped a bit differently, but you could technically take exactly the same deck, maybe switch 1 or 2 cards and just go to finals. And I think,
my deck list registration for finals was Seville deck list.
yeah,
Identical 50 cards. I
Yeah.
changed 0. It's
yeah.
like-
So I think going away from comfort for worlds makes it a lot harder for everyone, right? Because you have to switch maybe a whole archetype or like maybe different deck builds, and also you have a lot of options in every color now. I think the most single card that will make a meta change, actually, I think the new Providence. No joke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really?
Wait,
So this was
right?
a very recently revealed card. I think today, right? So Providence it is pretty crazy, and
Yeah.
I will quickly read it out for
Providence?
viewers who may not know what it does. So this was a card that was revealed today. It's the third red LR. It's a level 7/5 cost. It's Zaft. It's a 5/5. It links with Raoul Le Crusette. So during pair with a Zaft pilot, all your Zaft units get +2 AP. So it's very large, and your whole board becomes very large. And then on attack, choose an enemy unit, deal 1 damage to it for each 4 AP this unit has. So if you have 2 of these guys out, like you're looking at doing a board does not get to survive. That's a very, very cool choice, Edwin. Thomas, why don't you tell
And-
me what deck are you most excited for? And
And the
Yeah,
deck I'm.
for Celestial Being. 100% because I love double O and I love mid range. So this deck screams mid range with options in like every direction, with sideboard options and playstyle changes and so on. And this is why also I think the most meta relevant card is the base actually that is released with Celestial Being.
Ptolemy.
Yes, because I think it's this is the thing that would kill aggro, right? So with this deck, so this is like the card that kills aggro in the mid-range matchup, and if this really is that strong, the meta will shift completely. But then this is the other thing that I think, if mid-range really becomes this strong, we could see high-value decks getting even better. So like Zaft,
So
late
Epion.
game Zaft, Epion again, yeah. Epion.
Your choice is a set 2 card.
I mean, if we start seeing better, like a mid-range meta, right? Someone will go in and pick a green-blue combination, Epion Wing or something, and just play only high-end units and
Be disgusting.
Yeah. This would be very disgusting. So I hope that Celestial Being is actually versatile enough to not auto-lose against high-value decks in the late game. But it seems like it because we have like Exia Transam and yeah, we have like a lot of units that do a lot of stuff in the early game, but also have great stats for the late game. So
sorry, Edwin, you were trying to say your favorite deck as well. The deck you're most excited.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, deck most excited for the. It's not wing. It's blue white.
Yeah,
it's blue white.
Titan
Yeah.
Zone.
Yeah.
it's blue white.
Blue
Yeah,
white. I'm technically a blue white main, so it's fine. So the O is like seems very interesting. Like it might be hit or miss. It's hit or miss.
I have to cut you off here.
Hit
I
or
have to
miss.
cut you off.
But it's the deck I'm excited for, but it's not the card I think that will change the meta. I think it's Providence.
Okay, right. So my number one meta changing card is the O. I think it's the most broken card in the game. So like complete opposite take. So the O is it's a new blue LR, and it has this ability that while it has a pilot on it, whenever a unit with repair attacks, you can tap something on your opponent's board with level equal to or less than the unit that is attacking. So if I attack with Gundam, for example, from the starter deck, I can tap down any level 4 or lower unit. If I attack with the O, it's any level 7 or lower. The other thing is that the pilot that you link him with gives other stuff repair, and it also draws a card, potentially, but like the fact it gives other stuff repair is like, okay, so I can give like wing repair, or I can give like Kshatriya repair, or like things like this. Like you can start throwing, I can make stuff have repair 4 instead of just repair 2. Like it's crazy. I think the O is like, and also they printed, there's like a whole core of blue cards that are just like repair things, right? And they all like the synergy is so like obvious, it just smacks you in your face, right? Oh, I want to play Armoro, I want to play Gundam. Oh, they gave me a new Armoro link with NT1. Oh, this card also has repair. Fantastic. So let's just put those over there, and they draw me cards that give me value. And now I want to play the O. And also there's all these other cards that like naturally fit in there, and oh, they all have repair, and oh, look at that, it's 30 cards that form the core of a deck, and now I can choose whichever color I want to go into. So my cop-out answer for the deck I'm most excited for, I want to say Celestial Beings, but Tom's already said that. So I'm just going to say blue plus X. I have no idea what deck I will play, but I am 100% sure it will involve blue. And it's very, very likely to like be centered around the O, because I just think that card is crazy.
I think actually, now that you say it, I think it will depend on the matchup of these two decks, right? Celestial Being and the rest repair blue deck, because
and also the burn damage you get from red and purple, right? So you have Providence, and you also have Barbatos Lupus. So like we have this 3 new axes of the meta, like the tapping, tapping value, like there's tapping, hard destruction, and like effect removal. So you kind of got all of them coming in.
And then you have to think Celestial Being will most likely always be rested anyways, the units, right? So you link, you attack every time you want to redirect with the command.
Such a broken
and so
card.
on. Yeah,
Such a broken card.
So now we have to see what is really stronger, right? Having your units rested anyways, and then the half of the effects of the other deck are irrelevant, or is the deck just so value heavy that it can outvalue Celestial Being?
I'm very excited for set 3, and I think that's a great point to draw this little roundtable discussion to a close. I don't know what we're going to title this. So you guys have seen more Gundam than I have, so you guys should let me know some sort of Gundam pun that we can call this. But thank you very much for joining me both. I've had it really fun talking about all these different things. It is 2026 while we're recording this, so we didn't quite manage to get out in 2025, but please let us know what you think in the comment section down below. Like the video, obviously. You should check out the video that I've done with Thomas already, where we cast over our finals, and you should check out the video I will be doing with Edwin, where we cast over our top 4 game, which keeps getting pushed back, and we did record, but there was an issue with the audio, so we now have to redo it. So don't worry, it's coming. I haven't forgotten. Yeah, any final words, any final shout-outs, guys?
I hope they print clan support.
Please, right? To be fair, the LR is good. The new clan LR is good.
Yeah, I tried to make this deck work like the last 5 weeks or something. I can't get it to work, but maybe with like 2 or 3 more cards.
Exactly. Edwin, any final words?
You're muted.
We've lost him. We've lost him.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. I promise you. I promise you.
We will see each other in the
We
finals.
are taking that win. We are taking that win back with us. We are not. We are not leaving Japan without a first place trophy. Now, whether or not we earn it, that's besides the point. We will be going home.
Josh Idol.
I'm sorry. I promise him. I have to take it. Sorry. Well, yeah, that's it. Thanks so much, everyone. Check out my Metafy so I can keep playing this game, please. Thanks. And that's all my shelling. See you all very, very soon. Thank you. Happy New Year. Bye bye.
Bye.